Well, hello and welcome back to Monteith, Iowa. We are deep into harvest season already. We did do a stream to harvest the field behind us. We did field number 5. Let's get the header all set up here and I'll show you where we're sitting so far with the amount of soybeans we've harvested. And looking in the menu here, we have soybeans 80,800 liters, but we also have about 7,000 here. So we'll see what we get from field number 6 next to us. And that will complete the soybean harvest for the day. It looks like we did damage some crops there, turning around. That'll be okay. Gonna get started here, cutting into this field. We did get a good deal on this header. It was used in the market for us, so we went ahead and grabbed it. I did try the 50-foot one before doing this 45-foot one, and we landed on it because of the size of the pipe. We were not able to go with the largest model because the pipe was not long enough, even though we've upgraded it all the way. So we're sitting with this one, and it's working out pretty good for us so far. So we're gonna get to grinding here. See how much soybeans we can actually get. We know we're gonna make close to 300,000 so far before harvesting this field. So I think things are on the right path. Even though we harvested the first field on stream, I still have a lot of time to really think about what our plans are and how we're going to expand. And we know we're going to be around 400,000 at minimum right now. So jumping into fields, I was really eyeing 1.38 million for field number 1 to expand to next, but we might have to go with something like field 11. 17 is outrageous, so we can't go with that. But field 16 is one we could afford. Let's visit that. And it's got soybeans that are about to be good. Man, I wish we could afford that this year, but there's no way to swing that. Like, even if we sold everything early, it just wouldn't be worth it. We've got to have patience with this. So we'll continue on, but those are the plans. We're gonna get through harvest season here, get to the point where we can sell the dried corn. We'll probably have to hold off on the soybeans until June, when we already have our fields planted. So we'll keep an eye on how these farmers are doing with their fields to see which ones we might want to purchase next, and we can always do that after they plant and take over from there. Just itching to get that expansion going. And finishing up the last pass of the soybean harvest this year. Another 10,000 liters here, so we'll get that total soon. I'm itching to find out. A lot of itching going on. We can shut this off and lift here so we can unload into the semi, and we'll get the auger wagon down here to unload into the semi as well, so we can real quickly swap over to the corn harvest. So 16,000 here. There's 17,000 over there, so another, close to 38,000. Well, I'll take it. Ooh, is the height difference gonna be a problem here? It might be. Might have to turn around. I was trying to be cute, get these unloaded at the same time. Oh, we're fine. Nice. That should work good. No reason to take the semi in yet. We can let that just sit there as we get started with the corn harvest. And once we fill up the front bins of the semi, we can then take it into town to the silo. Or actually that one will go to the corn drying. production while the rest of the soybeans go into the silo. We did not use the bins this year. We might not need to. Come on over here, get all prepped. We can get going with field number 7 to start with. We did talk about that we lost 2 fields of corn since we did the soybeans this time around, so we know we're not going to make that $1 million amount off of corn. But we did lime and fertilize and treat this really good, get rid of all the weeds, or gotten rid of all the weeds and killed them all off. So we should see this number go up a lot faster than it did last year, and it seems like it's doing pretty good. We'll get field 7 done, see where we're at, get those other 2 fields, and then we're going to quickly get back into planting season. Keep cycling with this series. The cattle don't need any food. I think we'll be able to go probably about 6 months before we need to do that, and I'm hoping by the time that comes around, we can just buy some equipment instead of leasing again, but we might keep leasing on that. I have undecided at this point. That's going to be a long-term play before we make any money off of cattle. And you can see we've done the headland and a little bit of this field and already have the combine at about 90%. I felt like it was a good time to unload it here. The other debate's been on equipment versus expanding, and I kind of think we want to kind of balance both of those. We want to expand and start duplicating our equipment at the same time. There might be a need for a subsoiler or a plow here since we do have the damage from the weather on, I believe, on this playthrough. So some things to think about there as well, as we have basically, I don't know, about probably an hour left in harvest. I think we'll get to those decisions after we finish this harvest. I'm gonna get heads down focused on this and get it done. All right, we got another 30,000 liters here that we're gonna drop off in the semi, take that over to the silos and corn dryer. And we got the last 2 fields to go. Super interested to see how much money we're gonna bring in this year. Once this tops up, we'll head in. We're gonna let them work on that field there. They should, I bet we get back in time. If we can get out of the field, it's struggling. Struggling to get out of the field. We can do it. Yeah, we need a beefier semi. Might be an upgrade we look into soon. Seems to be fine once we get on actual pavement, but driving around the fields like that when there's this huge load and huge weight in the back here, just struggles. I think the first thing we'll do is swing into the dryer and get these dropped off. Get the corn dropped off first, and then we can drop off the soybeans. And while we're here, we'll do a nice check on how we're tracking financially based on the statistics we can see in the time-saving stock check. We won't know the total for corn, but we can get an estimate. Propane, I think we'll be fine. We'll have to keep an eye on that this year, but it is all activated and ready to go. Let's go drop the rest of these soybeans off at the silo and head back to finish the harvest. And looking in here, we're looking at $428,000 from the soybeans, which is perfect. Absolutely perfect. We can do about 30,000 times 2,900 right now. Or 30 times 2,900 to do some math there to see how much corn we have so far with 2 more fields to harvest. Should be a solid year. So we should be sitting at about 500,000 right now, a little more than 500,000. You know, a good amount in here still, so we could get close to 1 million. I hope we do. Definitely learning our lesson from doing soybeans when we have the corn drying station. We don't want to do just one crop type. That's boring. Oh, I guess we had 40,000. I did the math wrong. We have more money than I thought. We're good. Things are good. And harvesting the final field before we get to skip some time and make some money. don't think this is all gonna fit, so we will have to do 2 trips to the corn dryer, but very positive output here. We'll get what we can put into the semi, and then we're gonna find out how much money we're gonna make. We'll definitely need to do some maintenance on this before next year. I didn't think it was all gonna fit, but it's worth a shot. I don't know why that stopped. There we go. It's gonna be super close. I think it will stop. Yeah. All right, 4,000 left in the auger wagon. Not too bad. Yeah, we'll do maintenance on this. I think the header, yeah, both of them, they just need maintenance. We need to make sure we save money for that. And just dropping off the corn. So far, if we look in the production, we do have 56,000. So I think we're just gonna be a little bit under, gosh, is it 150,000? I don't even know anymore. Can we get both of these at the same time? Yeah. Multitasking. Yeah, so I think we'll be looking at close to $1 million in harvest. So not as good as last year, but we kind of expected that with the shift to soybeans. Someone knows how to beat a dead horse. Can't believe I forgot to change the time this whole time. We would have got through it in the 2 days in October either way. The days of the week, having multiple days is gonna matter when we have more fields. And with everything dropped off at the production, we have 120,000 liters to go through, and it's gone through 9,000 already. Pretty good, looking pretty solid. And the production did bust through all of the dried corn overnight, so we can see our totals, yeah, they're well under $1 million. A little disappointing, but we'll get by. Early January, and we noticed that the prices of dried corn were already dropping, so we are heading over to sell them now and get this money coming in. I don't know if we're gonna make any purchases before planting. I just don't think we'll have enough money to expand. I think we might get done with planting, sell the soybeans in July or June, depending on when prices peak. And after that, then decide where we want to expand. Yeah, 59,000 there. And I don't know if we can get both of these at once. We'll try. Yeah, we can. Nice. Another 117,000. And then the back compartment going in now, another 20,000 liters. Should be another about 60 grand. 59,990 there on that. Brings our total to 347. And a little bit more. We got about, I think, just under 50,000 more liters to bring back here for our final selling of corn this cycle. Yeah, definitely regretting the soybeans at this point. Now, with doing crop rotations, if we go back to mostly corn on the big fields, because we did the big fields with soybeans, I don't know what I was thinking, to be completely honest with you. So we do that natural rotation that we were planning on, and we'll get less in soybeans and more in corn, but I'm kind of tempted to go all in on corn one cycle here just to make sure we get enough money to really expand after doing another year of planting and harvesting. Got to do wider turns with these semis, dude. About 45,000 more liters to go sell, so we should be, close to 400,000 when it's all said and done, if not closer to 500,000. And then we get close to 400,000 in soybeans in July, so still a solid year, just not as much as last. Okay, let's see where money's sitting. We do need to make that loan payment as well this month. So that'll hurt a little bit, but the amount of money we're bringing in, that loan's not really that big of a deal. And we are going to sneak pretty close, if not over, that $500,000 mark here. It's going to be close. 480, not too bad. All right, let's make our loan payment. We're going to remove $59,493. All right, that's the last thing we need to do before we get to planting season. At this point, I'm just skipping time. We're in March 2nd, and I'm just, taking a look to see if there's anything that we really need. I mean, this might be ideal, but it's 51% off. I just don't know. I don't know what I want to do there, but let's also take a look at the animals. We should have plenty of hay left. Yeah, 26,000. Let's head over there and visit them real quick. Yeah, they're a little bigger now. It says 10 months. Wow, is it 10 months already? Beautiful. All right, we'll get some money going. 55% maturity. And this one's just chilling. Just chilling. Okay, what do we have here? I mean, that would be nice, but nothing we're gonna actually need. Let's get all prepped, start getting planting. Took the fertilizer out of the sprayer, and I think that's gonna give us a good start here. I'm gonna head over to the end of the big field, and we are gonna do corn next, and I'm gonna get it past the fog time here. Alrighty, let's go ahead and unfold this and get some more corn planted. It seemed to help me do the end row here, just because of how close these fields are. Tempted to blend them into one, but I don't want to make any decisions like that yet. Okay, this seems to be a good spot to start. We'll get it lowered, activated, and away we go. Direct drill for the win. Yeah, we'll see how far this 1,600 liters takes us in seed. We're at 38%, so I assume that means we'll need a little bit more by the time we get to probably the third field. Let's get this big one done. All done with one field. Looking pretty good. We'll have to do some extra fertilizer and not extra, but we'll have to do herbicide as well. We're gonna head on over to the skinny field and get prepared to plant there as well next. But we'll need to get some more fertilizer. And probably, I think seed will be fine for this field, but we definitely need more fertilizer. At this point, there's no reason to not fill this up with herbicide and get it spraying. And away they go. We have 1,000 liters here. We filled up all the fertilizer we have on hand. I think we'll give this a shot and see if this is enough. And away we go. They're doing good work over there, spraying the weeds, and we'll get this other cornfield planted. Hopefully we have enough resources. Fertilizer is going to be close. And just about to run out of fertilizer here. Not too bad. I think we will just plant the rest of this as is without fertilizer, and well, it'll be okay. We can always splash it later on if we really need to. Making good work here, getting this all sprayed. Interesting course that they selected. I feel like this is not the most efficient way to do it, but it works. I just drove all the way to the store, bought some goods halfway there, and realized I had the purchasing location at home. So we're on our way back now. We're going to stomach it. I'm going to stomach it and do all corn this time. I think we'll do 1 year of just a ton of corn here. And that should set us up for a really good financial year to then start expanding big time. We still will look into expanding after selling the soybeans, but I think this is the right move. And I think 1,900 liters of seed should be enough to get us by the rest of this planting season. We're going to start with field 7. And I'm going to have a worker do this so I can spray the skinny field. Okay, this looks broken. Need to get some maintenance out here. Need to get our maintenance out here. Where's our mechanic? You know, he's just like raising his hand a little bit. Let's see if this fixes what it unfolds. Wow. What did we do? That's hilarious. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Oh, it snapped into place when I turned it on. Nice. All right. So let's avoid the trees as much as possible. Spray the header trailer. Yeah, we shouldn't see any weeds on these fields this time around. And cruising on up here to do what should be the last spot to spray on this field. I've said it a lot in this series. When you have the right equipment, these big fields are just glorious to work in. All done. See how we're progressing over here? You know, one of the things I do remember is we need to plant before we spray. So we'll want to get this process done before we spray this field. I think that's a good time for me to take a little lunch break. And we've given them a pretty good head start at this point. They are starting to plant the final field right now. And once this is unfolded, well, yeah, we're well on our way here. Getting the weeds taken care of. And we'll do field 8 next. They are planting way in the back there. You can see them taking care of business. Time to get this done. We're definitely keeping ahead of them at this point. Got this field all done. And we're just gonna kind of hold off until, oh no, I guess we're gonna finish over here. Oh, we got rid of the fences, but we can't get rid of the phone lines. It seems to be kind of a crucial thing around here. Let's see if we can figure out, were they done and getting started on the headlands? It looks like so. Yeah, I think so. All right, so we just got to do the headlands here, and we'll be done with planting for, I guess this is year 3. I got to get that mod that shows that. Got to get that updated and added to this playthrough. Especially with how quick we're going to start moving here. Going to get lost on where we are, year-wise. But a couple more loops around this field, and then we'll get it sprayed, make it May, and we got to take care of some fertilizer after that. All set here. Imagine the maize challenge with the corn dryer. We would have blown it away. Would have beat that in like 7 years. Instead, we gave up because we knew we were gonna fail. That's me officially saying that's the first lost challenge that we had on the channel. We did not succeed at the maize challenge because I made it a little bigger than it needed to be. All right, we probably do need to line all this up and do a little maintenance session at some point, but I'm being greedy with money. I don't want to spend it, and that's a tree. And this should not take long at all, and we'll swap out to fertilizer, make it May. We're sneaking up on selling those soybeans to see how much money we have and make some decisions. All done here. Another task off the to-do list checked off. So green. So green all of a sudden. Nothing good in the sales. So we'll just get started on putting the fertilizer down. Let's double check. That should be all we have to do. Yeah, and looking at the screen here, we're pretty much the only people in town that don't have a second application of fertilizer done yet. 13 up here hanging out with us. All right, and we will be able to see the color change. It's always nice. Little spot we missed planting, but we'll be fine missing that little bit. Lots of corn this year. Get it all dried. This should be close to, I'm hoping, with the way we're treating this, 1.7 mil, maybe 1.5. Really want to see fertilizer on the mini map. I miss it. 3 fields to go here. Got the 2 small ones and then the skinny field. And spraying will be all complete. And all the spraying is done. It's time to check the used market while we fast forward time and sell those soybeans. Well, nothing in the market. Let's make it June. And we're going to check the prices of soybeans. Nothing good still. Nothing good still. Oh, they're above peak right now. Soybeans are officially above peak price. All right, let's get them loaded up. See where our dollar amount is. And finally get to make that decision on what field we're buying. I'm glad crop destruction doesn't work on other people's fields, because I think I'd have a lawsuit on my hands if it did. All right, we kind of know how much we're gonna make, but let's get to the real dollar amount so we can make some real decisions. All right, oh, that's not what we wanted to do. We want these. Nope, nope, nope. Come on, Chris. Okay, I guess we're doing this one first. 50,000 per container, so we're gonna get 200,000 here. All right, or per slot in the container, not per trailer. You know what I mean. 66 in that, so these are different sizes. I'm being silly, guys. Let's just wait till the end, and then we'll see. All right, we hit $670,000. We have about 34,000 more liters to go get. So that should be at least another 100,000. Let's go get it, find out. I do love the color of these trailers. It's like the exact same color as the walls in my office right here. That's funny. Totally forgot about how similar and how much I'm obsessed with that dark green, that forest green. And selling the last bit here. We should see this stop in a minute, and it'll give us our first number, which is looking great. Okay, so we're at 737. What's the number gonna be? Okay, 785. That's for real? Okay, so we had $18,000 in here. Still, that seems low. All right, let's see what our options are. Not a great year. I think we are gonna go with 11 though, or we could go with some corn. So if we did that, Can't swing both of those. I'll be super close. Are there any contracts right now? Yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna borrow both of these and see where the money's at when we get done with these. Oh, they're gonna be in my yard. Whoops. Is this like an identical setup? That's hilarious. I shouldn't have borrowed it twice. That was dumb. But we could get a worker going on one of them. Yep, that's what we're gonna do here. And I guess it doesn't matter which one goes to which field. This is gonna take a lot of time. But that was like $100,000 almost. And it'll make my decision a lot easier. Okay. I'm going to set this up to start on headlands and do, let's do 3 here. And I'm gonna let them go. And I figured that they should be able to get a good head start and get a good amount of work done. Man, I need that big weeder we were using on stream. I think the weight's gotta be around here somewhere. Let's fly. Maybe this setup didn't come with one, because I don't see it. I'm actually really stoked about how quick we're moving through this series now, and honestly, I was a little stressed about it. It hasn't seemed to take as long as I thought it would. Later on it will, and we'll have to slow down. But it's good right now. I'm loving this. Might be liking this a little more than Cattle Ranch personally. We'll see how I feel after tomorrow's Cattle Ranch recording session. Maybe I'll close the loop on that topic in that video. Okay, they got 1% done. Yeah, and they shouldn't get stuck at all, I don't think. I think it'll be fine. And then if we get this one done and they're not done, we'll take over. And the money on the worker, I think, is well spent on that. These fields are huge. We've made it here. I think I am gonna do 3 headlands. There's no way this is going into a time lapse. I'll see you in a few. Well, the first field's done. We're just riding along. We did get ours done first, so we're riding along with a worker here. 5% to go, and we'll see about buying some fields. We're gonna have to play that back. I just witnessed the best ever AI turnaround. I don't know if 3 headlands was the trick for this, or if it's just the type of implement, but man, they do a good job with this weeder, or with this hoe. Dang. 55 minutes is what I have timed of us doing this, just to be able to possibly afford 2 fields instead of 1. All right, let's get our cash. Collect. And collect. And we're in the middle of a field. That's not ours. Okay, what was our thought here? Was it this and that? Yep, let's go ahead and buy it. So we're down to 385. Oh, I'm gonna be stubborn. If we switch to this weeder, we could save money on herbicide. I mean, herbicide doesn't cost us much, but this thing is ridiculous. We used it on stream on the Frankenmuth playthrough, and it was amazing. So we did a contract on there with it, and we're talking about how I needed it on this playthrough. I gotta remember to... Well, I'm gonna see how I feel, because I'm gonna do this one myself. It's field 3 right next to field 4 that we just did. And it just seems... Yeah, I want to see how it feels, because I'm kind of thinking this might be better and quicker. I'm not really that concerned with the money savings. I don't know. All right, we're going. I don't know how fast we're going to be able to go, and that's one thing with this, is we can go 20 miles an hour with the herbicide, where this is topping out. I wonder how it would be on our tractor. And we could pull it over here and try instead of borrowing, or instead of using this tractor, but let's just get it done. Oh my goodness, I think we've been muted this whole entire segment. Okay, so we just finished that other contract. Let's pull over to the side so I can catch you up and maybe piece this into some other... oh gosh, Chris. Okay, we bought field 14 right here. We bought that after we finished that contract, and we can see that we have an 82% yield bonus So we just need to do the weeds. We need to take care of the weeds here. With medium weeds, we're gonna get those sprayed. And this is our alfalfa field, which looks like it's in pretty good shape. 87%, 100% fertilized. So that means, does this one... It doesn't need lime. Why is it only 87%? Fully fertilized. It doesn't even need rolled. I'm confused. But we're gonna go take care of our new field, our new corn field. And that should be, you know, an instant profit, I would assume. We'll probably make enough money to pay us back from buying that field. And especially since we'll be drying the corn. And then I was talking about what I want to do to cut the grass. I'm thinking about looking into the MacDon, just because I haven't used it yet and thought it might be pretty cool to use. Oh, we're almost there. I was like, thought that would be our field right here. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I want to look at the prices. We'll get spraying on this, and I'll pull up the old catalog, and we'll see about that. But new field, exciting. 2 new fields. I was having trouble with this one, creating courses. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this one all by ourselves. So we will get that screen prepped, because I'm gonna have to pull that up a lot, but that's all right. Away we go. And I don't really see these weeds, so yeah, that'll be tough. So I guess, yeah, we'll get this done, and then we'll do the thing with looking in the catalog. Oh, spinning out, spinning out. We got it done. We got her done. Let's get this home, and then we're gonna figure out how we're gonna cut the alfalfa. Alrighty, so we're back to the 9R. We need to get a pressure washer. Okay, let's look at this category here. So the MacDon itself is 170. And what is the upgrade there? So we could go down a notch and get it for 135 to start with. Okay, that's not terrible. And the width on this is only 5 meters though. So is that worth it if we're not doing this? I mean, we get a yield bonus, I believe, but we're not doing those. Well, I guess we're doing beans. So let's look at mowers. And I might look into getting some mods. And we only have a back mower. We're going to go with the Ello. And we are just going to lease it, because that's all we can afford. So still haven't moved the delivery location. So we got had it delivered here. Okay, I don't think there was any other route to go. So I think we need to, maybe we cut next to, no, we have to go all the way to field 15 and then up to our new field. And it looks small on the map on this view, but nothing's small on this map. This is the alfalfa field too. Alfalfa's starting to take over on this map. Why, yeah. Decent amount. I think there was just 1 alfalfa field when we started the save. Now there's only 2 soybean fields. Oh, there's a side road here. Okay. I was a little confused in how we get back here, or how we get here. Oh, this is pretty awesome. Now, how much of this is ours? Let's look at that now. Field boundary does go pretty far this way. Okay. So this is some lumber if we decide we want to make some quick cash. And then we could turn it into a bigger field. And here we go, doing alfalfa for the first time on a mower that's, or on a tractor that is not, I don't think it's necessarily designed for a mower like this. It doesn't feel like it is, so I guess we could have used the white. And we'll probably do that moving forward. But look at that alfalfa color back there. Crazy. This isn't even with speed override. This is just the way it's cut. Yeah, turning's a little rough with this tractor and the mower, so I think we probably will use the white moving forward. It just makes a lot more sense. And so we can just afford another tractor. And it would be nice, especially with this type of setup here. We need multiple. We need probably 3 or 4 tractors so that we could, you know, have, if we're going to do hay, we could have a tedder running behind us. And then we could have the rake running behind that and a baler. So, you know, eventually we could get it going with a bunch of craziness with course play and auto drive. And there's definitely the plan. That's the only way really to pull off this playthrough. And we're missing a lot, so I don't know if this just needs smoothed out, but we are hopping a lot. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the MacDon. We definitely have time between episodes and between when I'll be ready to purchase that to get some good feedback. Three headlands might have been a little too much on this field. We're learning it, and I kind of like this setup, just on a different tractor. So this, I don't know. I'll wait for the feedback though. Okay, this grass field feels huge. This is insane. There's even bigger ones. There's ones that are like 7 times this size. And we're just taking a little look at the alfalfa on the field. Looks like we missed a little bit there, but it's good. And I'm pretty sure this is one that just regrows, just like grass. Pretty sure alfalfa works that way. I'm not sure how they implemented it in this game. Or this map, I should say. We just burned through an entire year on the Own the Map challenge. Thanks for hanging out. This is where we're going to end it. I'll catch you next time.